Best short stories. The wounds caused by love. The girl he loved was called Helen Lewis, a beautiful girl of his street. Every day by late afternoon, Kevin sat on the sidewalk with his friends to watch Helen pass in her white lace dress. Kevin appreciated her beauty, her tanned skin, and slender body. He also appreciated her way of walking, of looking, of talking, even appreciating her way of taking off her sandals and her pink feet naked walking on the ground. Everything she did resembled a childish naivete, an innocent sensuality of these girls. In their prime, how can I love her like this? Without even knowing her, without even knowing what she likes, Kevin thought he kept thinking of Helen in his bedroom, at work, at lunch, or driving. Kevin only thought of Helen. It was hard not to remember that April day, when she walked past her house wearing that white dress, and glanced at her. Those long-lasting stares for two souls to meet, and fall in love with. Less than 2 seconds, that look marked Kevin that he could not stop thinking about those honey-colored eyes staring at him, calling him, inviting him that he wanted to live happy days with Helen, to make his fantasies. Kevin wanted to spend a Sunday afternoon with Helen, take her for a walk in a square, talk to her, hug her, and kiss her. The days passed and his love grew in proportion to his sadness. Helen never gave his a look again. Why? He decided to build up courage and state his feelings. He picked up paper and pen. He wrote a letter. Helen, who am I? I prefer not to say my name. The fear of you never looking at me again after reading this letter is great, unbearable. I ask that you only read with your heart, do not make judgments, do not think mecrazy, and for what is love if not the madness of fools? If so, I'm the biggest nut in the world. There is not an instant, a second, a sunburst in the window of my room, a song on the radio that I do not think of you, my dear Helen. Sometimes I wonder how it is possible to love you so much if I do not even know you. Is it possible for me to be in love only because of its beauty? Should I believe in love at first sight? Yes, I believe, and I am sure that what I feel for you goes beyond mere physical attraction. It is much more than that. It is the desire to spend with you every day of my life, as 2 in 1, soulmates. Here is a man who loves you, Helen, a man who would give his life for you, who would do anything you wanted, who would never leave you unhappy, ever. I'm sorry for not saying my name, but before you hate me, I'd rather go on with this secret passion 1,000 times, for the uncertainty of my love being reciprocated is better than the certainty of knowing that you do not want me. Goodbye, Helen, may God help me. On the back of the letter, Kevin wrote, wear a red dress if you're interested in knowing who is your secret admirer. Kevin put the letter in the mailbox of Helen's house. He returned to the house, anxious at the same time, regretful. What if she did not wear the red dress the next day? He tried to frighten away these thoughts at work, counting the hours, suffering every minute. It seemed that the day would have no end. That night he dreamed of Helen, with her in her red dress, they together holding hands, kissing in a green field. But the day dawned and he woke up. To his surprise, not least for his happiness, Helen passed the street wearing a beautiful red dress, so beautiful as if she had left his dream. She passed with attentive eyes, seeming to look for someone. Kevin was sure she read his letter and liked it. Kevin followed her eyes, waiting for her to notice him sitting there on the sidewalk. But Helen looked everywhere but at him. He was not upset about this. On the contrary, he was motivated to write another letter. This time, he would put an indication for her to find him. He wrote a long letter praising the beauty of Helen and telling of his romantic dreams. In the end he wrote, your secret admirer is the one who sits on the sidewalk of house number 237. He delivered the letter and spent the rest of the day imagining Helen's reaction. She crossed the street, coming toward him, a shy smile on her lips, coming subtly, and saying hi. What a joy! He sat down on the sidewalk and waited. His anxiety became distress every minute it took, and by nightfall, Hestel sat on the sidewalk, alone, hoping she would pass. Helen did not pass. She did not pass that day, nor the week, nor the month. She never passed the street again. What happened? Kevin wondered. The clearest answer was that Helen did not like him. His sadness was no greater than his shame. He went into a depression. He was up all day, eating badly, not wanting to go out and talk to his friends. Sometimes he wanted to run to Helen's house and fall on her feet, apologize to her. At other times, he thought of giving up his own life to get rid of the anguish. In the end, Kevin decided to go to Helen's house. He would declare his love in person if she accepted him. Well, otherwise, he would try to follow his path. Kevin went to Helen's house. His hands were shaking, his body was cold. He rang the bell. He pressed several times, but no one answered. The idea that she might be traveling comforted him. It was a good excuse for her not to come in front of his house when he was leaving. A car parked. Helen got out of the car. She was bronzed, wet hair, and she was wearing sunglasses. "Do you want anything?" she asked. Kevin stammered, bewildered by that sudden apparition of his love. But since he was there, the right thing to do was talk. "Helen, I wanted to talk." At that moment a tall, athletic, shirtless young man stepped out of the car and stared at him through his Ray-Ban. "Are not you writing love letters to my girlfriend?" he asked, laughing. Kevin shivered. He could not elaborate a word. "Apparently, you came to get another letter," Helen said. The big boy went up to Kevin, saying, "Dude, look at you," he said, giving Kevin a shove. "What girl will want you, fatso? Leave him, Mark," asked Helen. Mark put his finger on Kevin's face and said, "Listen, Shakespeare, if you send one more letter to Helen, I'll make you swallow it, understand?" Kevin nodded, yes. He walked off, and heard Helen talking to Mark. "Poor little fatso. Why threaten him? It even seems like I'm going to like that lot of lard. Let him send as many letters as he wants." At home, Kevin stood in front of the mirror. He studied his body and faced. He was really an ugly fat man. Until then, Kevin had not been aware of his ugliness. He was just a stupid fat man, an ugly, stupid fat man. Crying, he broke the mirror that reflected his ugliness. Lying in bed, he thought of Helen, everything he had planned, everything he had fantasized about. She had another, she was kissing another, she was in love with a strong, handsome guy. She would never like him, for it was just a bunch of lard. Kevin spent the night crying. He cried because he was hurt, deeply hurt by love. Kevin thought he could forget Helen. All you had to do was focus on work, have fun with friends, go out to ballads. None of it did. In addition to not forgetting Helen, she became his obsession. He was sitting at the window all day, waiting to see Helen in her white dress. One day he saw her walk past Mark. They were both happy. They looked like a couple of fairy tales. They were beautiful. They deserved to be happy. They deserved to live a true love. At this moment, watching that beautiful couple, a song started playing in Kevin's radio. Love hurts, love scars, love wounds and marks. Yes, it's all true, whispered Kevin. I felt it in my heart. He still kept watching Helen and Mark down the street. They need to feel that love hurts. After saying these words, Kevin wrote another letter. "Helen, tell your dear boyfriend that he'll never love you more than Edo. Also tell him that I masturbate often thinking of you, to be exact, 3 times a day." Kevin delivered the letter in the morning. When it was late, Mark knocked on the door of his house. As soon as he opened the door, Kevin received a punch in the eye. He fell to the ground and Mark started to kick him. "This is for you to learn," said Mark. He turned to leave when he heard Kevin, "If I wanted to kiss, I would ask your mother." Mark came back, enraged, with his fist clenched ready to hit Kevin's face. Kevin pulled out a spray bottle of deodorant and sneezed into Mark's. He was blind, momentarily. Then Kevin took the broom and broke the handle on Mark's head. Mark woke up in a hole. As he tried to stand up, he could not bend his knees. "No way, I broke your knees," Kevin said from upstairs. "I'll kill you for that." Mark threatened, "How you're going to kill me if you're never going to get out of this hole, at least not alive." Mark froze at Kevin's tone. He felt him telling the truth. Afraid, he asked, "Please, get me out of here. I was just kidding. The reason I did not kill you is that I wanted you to be aware of what I expected. I'm going to bury you alive." "No, you're kidding. Stop it." Kevin picked up the shovel and started throwing dirt at Mark. "Excuse me, please. It was just a joke. You better hold your breath. Why are you going to do that? Have not you ever heard love hurts from Nazareth?" Kevin buried Mark. His prayers and promises were of no avail. In his desperation, Mark promised to leave Helen. Kevin did not listen, and let him scream until he was buried. He dumped the cement on the floor, threw water, and hit the dough, spread over the newly closed hole and flattened. When the cement dried, it would be as if the floor of your basement had never had a hole. Tired, Kevin took a shower. Then he lay down. Before he fell asleep, Kevin thought of everything he had just done. He was happy to know that Helen would be saddened to find that her great love would never return. She would never know his whereabouts. The police, family, and friends would search for days, but none of this would solve. Kevin was happy to deprive Helen of her love, just as she had deprived him of her own. Neither of them would live a love, none of them would be happy. Now, Kevin said, before closing his eyes, now I'm ready to look for another love. Kevin continued to love, fall in love, and sometimes hurt. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave your comments below. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.